What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're going to jump in with some Anthem news. So we've got a pretty cool new trailer for the game, as well as some new gameplay, and we do get a more in-depth look at a few different elements that Anthem fans have been excited about. More specifically though, in this video I feel like we have a pretty well-rounded look at Anthem, especially the progression, the loot side of things, reasons to keep playing Anthem. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to break down the trailer. Of course we get juicy new gameplay. We'll talk about legendary contracts, progression, how loot drops in the world, a whole bunch of really cool new customization that we can see, a better look at the javelins and how to equip them with gear. We've got a little bit of new gameplay of a high-level ranger. We'll talk about the map for Anthem and a bunch of other stuff in this video, guys. So as always, I hope you do enjoy it. But without further delay, let's jump straight into it. So we'll start out by talking about the new trailer. Of course, we can see some really juicy gameplay. Anthem is a fantastic looking game for sure from what we've seen, but breaking down the very basics of the trailer, we get a look at the Javelin Unlock screen right here, so we can see the 4 different classes. We've got the Storm, Ranger, Colossus, and Interceptor, and they do give us a little bit of gameplay of each of these as well. So perhaps if you haven't seen all of the classes, firstly we have the Interceptor right here, super agile and acrobatic class, very much a close range class. Personally, I think this is my favorite looking class in terms of gameplay, but we see the Ranger right here, pretty much your all-around assault javelin. We've got some interesting architecture in the background right there as well, reminds me very much of Vex architecture in Destiny, but we see the beefy Colossus with the shield and all the missiles, and then finally we see the Storm, which is essentially your elemental ability spam javelin. You can search up those classes in more depth if you want to, but next we see some pretty cool customization for the game, so we can see some very funky and different looking javelins right here. Personally, I think these look pretty fantastic, and if we jump back from Anthem's live stream yesterday, we can see even more customization. In terms of appearance, this is some of the most highly customizable stuff that you'll actually find in any game from what I can see. We get a really clean look at the loadout screen right here. This is a rare ranger. It's actually a rare ranger because your gear score will take an average of the gear that you have equipped, and then essentially label that with a rarity, so it does speak to your overall power, but you can see how the different gear slots are laid out for javelins, and of course these are populated with different upgrades or modifications. Yesterday we got some new ranger gameplay. They're actually running a legendary contract right here, and throughout the contract loot drops pretty regularly, so you can see how it actually looks when you pick up loot. Interestingly, loot isn't identified immediately, or at least the specific item. You will be told the rarity of the item, but then it's basically vaulted and you get to see it at the end of the expedition that you're on. So a bit different to something like Destiny, where you could pick up an exotic in the raid, pause your game, go onto your character screen and equip that and play around with it in that instance. And we can see right here when they actually finish the expedition, we have the end screen, and this shows all of the rewards, the XP and everything like that they've obtained during that mission. So firstly we have a masterwork item right here, Venom Darts, which is a masterwork assault launcher, fires a volley of 3 acid darts that seeks a single target, and it also has additional attributes, so plus 3 damage on pistols, plus 20 damage for shotgun, and then ammo bonuses for 8% LMG ammo and 21% general weapon ammo. But on top of this, you can see the other drops from this legendary contract, and this will include upgrades for the javelin itself, as well as components, which are essentially modifications that go into that component slot, and all of these have their own individual power level. And the ultimate inscription here augments javelin ultimate gear and increases damage by 5% of the base damage, so plus 9% impact, but also plus 30% speed. And then we can see we also have a bunch of other epic and uncommon items there dropped as well. And we can see here that you can actually set up different loadouts. So you have the base javelin, but as they scroll through right here, you can see the stuff that's equipped on these javelins is actually different. So you can build loadouts for different types of content, and we can see even more different unique visuals for these javelins as well. We also get a further look at some of the UI here, and we can see various different components on the screen. Once again, these are essentially mods, but from looking at the loot drops from the end of that expedition, the model definitely seems to be shower the player with loot. Of course, that gives us lots of opportunities to acquire particular items that we need, or to look for specific stats and attributes on them. So I think this gives us a decent, well-rounded look at progression in the game, loot drops, how we acquire stuff, and some of the stuff that makes Anthem's loot actually exciting. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about it down below. But of course, in the background from Anthem's live stream yesterday, we're seeing some new Ranger gameplay, especially the Spark Beam is something we haven't seen before. Looks pretty cool and it deals really high precision damage. But there is also the heavy pistol that we can see, which doesn't look like the most forgiving weapon itself, but it does do significant weak point damage, so it'll pay off if you're hitting your shots. We've also seen the map a couple of times in trailers and some of this gameplay, so just if you're curious what the map actually looks like when you're looking at it in the UI. And in terms of this legendary contract gameplay that they're completing, it's a relatively endgame activity, or at least is breaking into the endgame of Anthem. And that'll be part of the reason that there are so many loot drops throughout this. There are a bunch of different fragments they need to collect, and then you can see them fighting a few different high value targets, and then ultimately fighting these elite to lesser Ash Titans right here, which gives you a pretty good idea of the gameplay of Anthem, a few more of the mechanics and team play elements. So I'm going to let this run out, guys, but I hope you have enjoyed this video. For folks who have been covering Anthem really closely, then we may be retreading some old ground in a few places, but like I said, I feel like this is a more well-rounded look at the game in general, And I'd be curious to hear your thoughts about it. How do you feel about the progression that we can see, the loot drops, and that customization? Obviously, builds are a pretty big thing in Anthem, as one of the main focuses in the endgame especially, so that'll be a big component of why the loot works the way that it does. So let me know your thoughts about it down below. Let me know your thoughts on the trailer, guys, but if you have enjoyed this video, a rating is very much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit subscribe. I'll be covering plenty of Anthem stuff over the next few weeks. But for now, as always, I appreciate you tuning in, and whatever you get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.
I hate to break it to you guys, we have a Titan. So...
Oh no. Okay, Titans are...
Camden, I hope you have your cleanse fire buttons ready, please.
I'm gonna die.
We'll be fine, we'll be fine, we'll be fine. So the whole thing with the Titan is... Okay, hold on, what do we gotta do? We gotta get the 3 devices. Okay, I'm gonna go with Camden over here. Do you have this one? Oh. Can you cleanse fire? I don't know if you did already. I want to fly. Okay.
So Titans have this huge just attack that you really got to stay out of the beam, but they also put out rings of fire, and I believe it's possible to jump over the rings if you're agile.
Yeah. It's basically a jumping puzzle where you can... uh-oh, it's bad for me.
But I'm not agile, and I'm on fire now.
Okay, we have 2 Titans, so that's a thing. Let's take the one with Nighthawk first if we can. It's gonna be really interesting. I'm frozen. Unfortunate news. Okay, so let's get where Camden is first.
Okay.
I think one at a time is probably best, unless you guys have a different idea.
That sounds good to me. I'm gonna try my ultimate again. See if
so the whole oh nice. Because the whole thing with a Titan is when parts of his arms glow, they're the weak points. And if you do enough damage to the weak points, you can interrupt what he's doing. So if he's casting like, any of his attacks like this, if we were to hit his arms with enough damage, he would kind of stop, and then we could be more offensive.
Right.
He'll also spawn those, you see those explosions behind us just there? So you've really got to time the dodges when you see it in the corner of your eye. And then the rings of fire, you got to dodge, and then he spawns little elementals as well.
Hey Ben, question from everyone. Are there like different sizes of Titan?
Yeah, so there are small Titans, and there are big Titans, and then of the big Titans, there are like elite and legendary versions. So this is an elite lesser. So this is one of the, is this one of the higher ones? Oh, the more powerful ones?
Well, he's elite, so he's pretty nasty, but lesser does imply there are bigger ones we're going to meet, which I'm not too much of a fan of. Oh my goodness. I can even see for all of the fire that I'm on.
Okay, I'm putting my field down, but like right on his face, which is borderline crazy.
I need a health pack. Oh, there's one over there.
So you can see I'm trying to time most of my shots on his ability casts and then like reload in between so that I'm ready again for his next cast.
I think one of the nastiest things about him is if his fire ring hits you, then you're on fire, which overheats you, which means you can't fly to miss the next one.
They're not for the faint-hearted. These are...
No.
Are there 3? Okay.
Yeah,
that's
I think
fine.
we just got another one.
All right.
See, remember what I said about the difficulty escalating? Did I mention?
Oh, I got hit by that.
Yeah, I am now on fire, and I just keep getting hit.
Let's get more abilities out here. Yeah, so kind of the dance is push on those abilities. Probably need to keep this other one in my line of sight, because I keep getting hit by its abilities as well. So I'm kind of failing a little bit on these dodges for the ones that come behind me. For those watching, you can see you've really got to... It's kind of like shoot, 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 dodge, like this, reload, shoot, shoot, shoot. But I dodged into someone else's. So the other kind of tactic here is if you clump up, you get hit by all the attacks. So we've kind of got a maybe triangle formation or square formation around him is a little better, because then we don't get hit by everyone's everything. We just kind of have to deal with our own stuff.
Oh, ouch.
Okay, see, I dodged that one that time, I think.
Nice.
Okay, where are we at on alt status? If
I'm
anyone has
almost-
one, I feel like it would be. Oh man,
a good time.
I feel like it would be. It would be probably worth it. It's probably worth it.
So I see we're being asked about PC settings a lot, of like what recommended specs are for PC. I believe we released that, didn't we, Ben?
Yeah, we did. I don't have all the info in my head for that, but certainly if you look it up on our official website, I'm pretty sure it is all there. Okay, so I managed. I dropped right into the fire. Yeah, getting this dance right takes a little bit of practice. All right, if we have any ults left, it would be great to finish this guy off. Come on, cost. There we go. There we go. Good stuff, team. Oh, same thing. Got greedy for that loot too early, like I do every single time. All right, so I think we might show this end of expedition screen, a little bit of it. I think that's okay, right? Yeah, I'll skip a couple of details because we should really talk about all this in a different setting. But let's see. Oh, look at this. All right, Venom Darts, pretty good. 3 dots. Nice, okay. So that's some pretty big shotgun, 20% damage and 20% ammo. So, okay, my shotgun usage would be amazing now. And then the Venom Darts debuffs with poison, or acid damage rather, which makes enemies take more damage as well, which is kind of cool. So I got a bunch of cool stuff. Venom Darts, got a Seeking Missile, we got lots of loot. Like, legendary contracts are no joke. What do we get here? Assault Rifle, Sniper Rifle, Colossus component, trying to convince me to go play something different. It's very savvy. Assault Rifle, Sniper Rifle, LMG, nice, and a Barrage Heavy Pistol, which probably isn't as good as the one that I already have on. This is a high rate of fire.